It's about shifting interactions and interfaces from being explicit to more implicit. Today, a computer is very explicit. Mm-hmm. You almost have to, program it and use it in a very explicit manner. But the way I interact with you is very implicit. Mm-hmm. I'm fuzzy. You can't tell a computer to wear a black shirt and then have it go figure that out. We're now using AI and machine learning to essentially bring that level of implicitness to your interactions with your applications.
People expect life and their interactions to be fuzzy. If I tell my computer, hey, set up an appointment with my wife for lunch on a Tuesday at the movies near us, that one movie theater by the crossroads. I'm always disappointed that the computer didn't get that.
But it will. It absolutely will. The things that are happening now in our office applications, powered by these large models that run in Azure, it's amazing. I mean, predicting the next few words that I'm typing, it is phenomenal.
That's already starting to show up. Yeah. I was running Edge and I was writing some email and suddenly it started giving me the next 15 words. And I was like, when did they add that?
Like document summarization, they're solving riddles that people can't solve, searching with pictures.
Yeah.
Combining multimodal picture and text together to find something. This is like human level parity things that are happening. But you need a lot of compute to make that happen, which is why this hybrid model between cloud and edge is so important. You want the computer to essentially help understand what you're trying to do and just do it for you and have it be right. And that is what AI is going to bring to everyone. We're walking into the inclusive lab right now where, some of these things really come together nicely.
Hello.
Entree.
Hi, Solomon.
Hello, welcome.
Oh, hi. How's it going?
Going well.
Good to see you.
Welcome to the Inclusive Tech Lab, everybody.
Perfect. Tell me how this duo.
Oh, my whole setup, yeah.
Oh, wow.
What I've got set up on here right now is actually the lighting control for the space. We can do full color control.
Hey.
I do Teams calls from here. This is how I keep up with my messages because I'm not at my desk, right? I'm in a lab, I'm doing stuff, I'm talking to people.
Can you show us the adaptive kit over here that just came out? You and I on the right-hand side have similar mobility challenges with some repetitive stress injuries and some RSI.
We've got the standalone mouse core, which is this little guy here, nice little travel-sized mouse. What makes it really cool, that slides off. We take this tail, we just snap it right on. And then that thumb rest can be taken out really easily and switched around. Or we can custom 3D print all sorts of different tails like we have here.
I'll tell you what I like about this mouse. The optical tracking engine is right at the front of the device, which gives you a little more precision when you're trying to essentially manipulate it. So it puts the axis of rotation towards the front of the device rather than sometimes the middle. And you have to do the charging point around there.
And we had to cant it enough that you could use it while it was plugged in.
Yeah, that's some good engineering right there.
The thing that I'm really excited about with this particular device, I'm type 1 diabetic and I've got some implants and stuff, and I've had bilateral frozen shoulder, and I've got some mobility challenges on the right side, as well as RSI and some nerve damage. I use a vertical mouse. Sometimes the ones that I buy aren't really vertical. They're kind of at a 45-degree angle, and I can start hurting just as I turn. I'm gonna be able to make whatever I want with 3D printed models. And as my body changes, and as I either gain or lose mobility, I'm gonna be able to make this happen. And I'm also left-handed, which is a challenge. So I'm gonna be able to make a left or a right-handed version with the same base.
Right.
It's so clever. When you showed me this the first time, I thought that was the mouse. And you're like, no, look at the tolerances.
Let me show you that,
That it's so nice. Everyone deserves quality, tactile, accessible
Well, that's
devices.
what we learned with the daughter of our lead designer. She has cerebral palsy, and he built that shelf for her first. In the years since, she's grown. Her hands are bigger, and it's been a cinch to print newer, upsized versions for her, rather than having to go buy completely new hardware. And we're really excited about that, how the hardware can grow as your needs change.
Yeah, that's so important. That is a custom hand just for you.
Having pieces that we can easily upgrade and swap out is so important, not just with orthotics, but with this as well. We took that same approach here.
So we were talking about NPUs earlier, and the fact that, we're gonna have these interfaces that are so much more intelligent with AI coming in and making more intuitive, fuzzy gestures. And then you mix that with these accessible accessories. What kind of magic can we do there?
We can take something that is traditionally a very explicit interaction model, like I have to move this mouse exactly to this spot so I can click this button. And that is our interface today. That is basically the analogy of how we interact with computers today. But with the advent of more compute power on the device with the advent of using Azure to essentially run these large models to help intuit what you're trying to do. You can move more to a very implicit sort of interaction model and say, I want to do foo rather than move this thing to this icon and click that button.
Yep.
And that's really powerful. It makes computers easier to use for everyone. It makes computers more efficient to use for everyone. I was talking to Dave Dame how cut, copy, and paste was such a revolution. That software technology enabled many people to do more things more efficiently because you didn't have to repeat those keystrokes all the time.
Right.
Take that analogy forward and now apply big AI on top of it. And you can kind of see that, we're probably heading in a world where you'll be able to more naturally interact with computers the way we're interacting here to get stuff done. It's so programmatic right now. Not taking anything away from the programmer, but
No, but a friend of mine at a company called CodeRush wrote a tool that calculated the amount of energy, the amount of force that required to do a thing. Like, I want to compile. Okay, well, I can hit Control-Shift-B, and that's a thing. Or I can click up here, and I can move the mouse. And he calculated everything, the moving of the mouse. And he's like, okay, the most efficient way would be one button. Not three, not a mouse, not a this. That stuff adds up.
One of the really large model, the billions of parameters that the company's working on with OpenAI is called DALL-E. And DALL-E can take natural language and create a picture. I have a picture of an owl sitting on a beach sipping a tequila, right? like you can literally give that to DALL-E and it will give you that image. It's crazy. In the future, we're gonna look at the past and say, I would have had to have drawn that picture.
Yeah. It's Copilot for art.
That's right. And it doesn't mean like I can't apply my own creativity. I can take that creativity and build on top of it. Just like Dave was talking about cut, copy, and paste something and then building on other people's ideas. Well, now I can build on top of AI, take my ideas and build on top of something, a palette that's already given to me.
You make a really good point that it's not about taking away creativity. It's not about making it so we just are talking to the AI. It's about making the boring parts easier so we can focus on the fun stuff.
That's right. And give you inspiration and building on other people's work.
It's different tools.
That's right.
The intent's still the same.
That's right.
But yeah, to your point, Scott, single button. We can do that now. The software now allows us to manually program those sorts of macros in, where you can do really complex things with a single press, and even multiple in sequence with that single press. But it'll be great when the system can actually start to learn those things on its own and go, oh, I notice you're opening these things together at the same time. As soon as you do one, all of it cascades. And that's really what we hear from the community, is that kind of learning, that kind of adaptation of it molding around them is really what we hear desired a lot.
How will NPUs proliferate the world? And you said not too long, right?
It's happening.
Yeah.
That's right. It's happening right now as we speak.
I'm looking for that moment in time when I'm going to be like, I was there when it happened.
Well, I'm happy to be here, and I appreciate both of you all spending time with us today at Build After Hours.
Thank you for showing us this amazing lab.
Oh, my
Appreciate
pleasure.
it.
Come back anytime, all of you. We're always here.
Thank you, Steve. Nice talking to you.
Thank you.
All right.
Cheers.
Bye.